So chances are, if you're a video game collector, specifically a retro video game collector, you have seen the prices of games skyrocket in value just over the past couple years. It is absolutely crazy. Most games have at least doubled in value, and I thought it would be interesting to dive into a specific console and see which games, what are the top games that have went up in value in terms of percentage. And today we're going to take a look at the N64. We're going to take a look at the top 10 games on the Nintendo 64 that have increased in value. Stick around. What is up, Internet? Retro here. Today we are talking about retro video game prices, specifically the N64. Guys, I cannot believe how much games have went up in value over the course of just the past couple years. I remember getting some of these games for $10 and now they're selling for $30. Common games that were selling for $25 that are now $50. And it's crazy. And I don't even know when game prices are gonna come back down. It seems like they're just steadily going up, but it did have me thinking. I was like, man, what are some of the prices of these games? What are some of the games that have went up the most in value percentage-wise? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna look at the N64, and here's the thing, guys, I used to be really up to date on a lot of my prices, and I just haven't been lately. I haven't had a reason to, but I did go back and I started looking at some of these games on the N64, and I was completely shocked because I remember getting some of these games for 15 bucks, and now they're 50. Guys, it's absolutely crazy. So we're about to jump into it, but before we do, if you are new to the channel and you do love all things 80s and 90s nostalgia, everything from retro video games, movies, toys, and more, do me a favor and hit that friggin' subscribe button. Every single Monday and Thursday, we're coming out with new retro content, and I don't want you guys to miss it. Let's get into it. So getting into this list, guys, I ranked it from 10 to 1, 1 being the game that has went up the most in value percentage-wise. Not necessarily in terms of actual value, but again, in percentage. And we went back just 2 years ago, May 2019, to current prices, and I'm floored by these prices, guys. So number 10 is Pokemon Stadium 2. No real big surprise here, guys. Pokemon is on fire right now, and Pokemon Stadium 2 has always been a staple game on the N64. If you have an N64 collection, you need to have Pokemon Stadium 2. So going back to May of 2019, Pokemon Stadium 2 was only $33. Fast forward to now, if you want to buy a copy of Pokemon Stadium 2, it is $76. Guys, that is a 130% increase in value, and there's no signs of Pokemon stuff slowing down. It is hotter than ever. Pokemon Stadium 2, 130% increase.
There it goes! Drill the weakness!
Next up on the list is a game called Star Soldier. Now this is a shoot 'em up on the N64, and there's just not a lot of shoot 'em ups on the console. So kind of an uncommon game. I don't see it very often. 2 years ago, if you wanted to buy this game, it was 20 bucks. Fast forward to now, it's $48 for a loose copy. That is a 140% increase if you want to pick up Star Soldier now. Coming in at number 8 is Earthworm Jim 3. Now, I will tell you guys, I am a fan of the Earthworm Jim series, but I just could not get on board with this 3D platformer. I just did not like it. It felt sluggish to me, but I know that there's still a cult following for Earthworm Jim. So there are a lot of people out there that I'm sure love this game for the N64, but if you wanted to get this game 2 years ago, it was only $27. Fast forward to now, a loose copy of Earthworm Jim 3 is $72, guys. That is a 166% increase for Earthworm Jim 3. Also, side note, I think it's one of the very few yellow cartridges on the N64.
Blaster!
Coming in at number 7 is a wrestling game. Man, there are so many wrestling games on the N64. The one we're talking about today is WWF No Mercy. So this game 2 years ago for a loose copy was only $15. Today, you're looking at about $40 to pick up WWF No Mercy. That also is a 166% increase. I don't know which wrestling game on the N64 is the best, but I'm assuming since the price is so high on this one, this has to be one of the better ones on the console. Number 6 is the holy grail of N64 games. Guys, it's Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Now, I wanted to get this game a couple years ago. I was at a convention, and it was one of the very few games I did not have, and I think I talked the guy down to like $320. Back then, it was going for, right around $350 to $400, and $325, $320, it was a pretty good deal, but I just could not get myself to do it. Guys, right now, if you want to buy a copy of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, it is selling for $1,134. That's a 189% increase. So if you don't know much about this game, it was basically a Blockbuster exclusive based off of Clay Fighter 63 1/3. Just a couple minor changes, and then Blockbuster released it, meaning you couldn't buy it at stores, you could only rent it at Blockbuster, and then I'm assuming people just kept the game when Blockbuster closed down, and that's why there's so few copies of that. But a 189% increase for Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut.
I smash! Fatality!
Coming in at number 5 is no surprise, again, another Pokemon game, Pokemon Snap. So guys, this game just 2 years ago was $11. Today, if you want a loose copy of it, it is $30. That is a 190% increase. Now, I don't know how consistent this price is gonna be, say in 6 months from now, because Pokemon Snap, the remastered version, just came out on the Switch. So I don't know how much that price is being influenced by that game just coming out. But regardless, right now for Pokemon Snap, it's $30 for a loose copy versus $11 just 2 years ago. Coming in at number 4 is Bust-A-Move 99. So I'll be honest, guys, I've never been into these types of games, action puzzle type games, but I know a lot of people love this series. But if you wanted this game just a couple years ago, it was only gonna run you about $13. Looking at it now, just 2 years later, guys, $40 for a loose copy of Bust-A-Move 99. That is a 195% increase in value. I don't think I'm spending $40 on Bust-A-Move, but there it is. If you want it, you're looking at $40. Coming in at number 3, I actually debated putting this game on the list or not because there is a stipulation. So the game we're talking about is Turok Rage Wars. So the game itself, the original game, comes in a black cart and it's like a $15 to $20 game. The one we're talking about is the gray cart variant. So basically what happened is the original game that came out on the black cart had a game-breaking bug in it. Like literally, the game would break and freeze up and you could not continue. Once the bug was discovered, Acclaim released a fix and the corrected version of the game was released on this gray cart. So that is why this gray cart is so expensive. So 2 years ago, if you wanted to pick it up, it was $173. Today, you're looking at $524 for the gray cart, which is a hefty price for just a weird variant of a game. I don't have that in the collection. I also tried to get this at a convention a couple years ago and they wanted like $100 and I passed. Man, do I wish I would have bought that back then. $524 for Turok Rage Wars, their gray cart. Coming in at number 2 is Chameleon Twist 2. Now guys, this is a series on the N64 that is not talked about very often, and I really like it. It obviously was at least decent because they made a second game, but it's been criticized as being a little too easy, but I've actually always liked it. It's got a cool mechanic where you have the chameleon's tongue, where you use it as a weapon, and you also use it to get to areas that you can't quite reach. It's a great game. But Chameleon Twist 2, guys, has skyrocketed in value. 2 years ago, you could pick it up for $26 back in May of 2019. Now, if you want to get a loose copy, it is $85, guys. That is a 227% increase in value. Again, a great game. Am I gonna go out and pay $85 for this game right now? Probably not, but if you find it cheap, pick it up. It's a great game, and it has increased in value like crazy. So coming in at number 1 is one of the very few red cartridges on the N64, and that is Rocket Robot on Wheels. Now, I hardly know anything about this game other than it is a 3D platformer, and I think it's based around a theme park. Other than that, I don't know anything else, but obviously people love this game because of the price increasing so much. Guys, if you wanted this game 2 years ago, it was only $18. Fast forward to now, it is $71 for a loose copy of this game, as it is a 294% increase, making it our #1 game to have went up in value percentage-wise, guys. Almost 300%, 18 to 71. That is absolutely crazy. You guys tell me down below, is this a good game? Is Rocket Robot on Wheels worth checking out? But that is the list, guys. Tell me down below if you want me to do this again for a different console, what console you would like to see. Guys, as always, thank you for hanging out, for watching the video. If you would like the video, it helps out tremendously. Subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, peace.